Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is a full face of my favorites of 2025, but in a very detailed tutorial. I kind of wanted to take it old school where I really talk about products that I love and why I love them and steps that I take and just maybe do it a little old school, right? Just a clean, fun tutorial while using my favorite products that I have either found or they have launched in the year of 2025. It's going to be a great video. Everything I use in today's video, I will link down in the description box down below. I hope you guys enjoy this type of video. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I am up close and a little too personal, but that's okay. We're all friends here. Obviously, one of my favorite products of the year. The Road Glazing Milk. I love to apply this before I go in with my complexion products. And even if I'm doing quick makeup and I don't come down here, my filming area is down here in a bedroom that I have down in my basement. And it has all my makeup and all of that. But I also have quick makeup, right? Like my quick makeup where I need a little bit of a skin tint, maybe a little bit of concealer, blush, a little bit of bronze, and some eyebrow stuff, and that's it. And I always just keep that up in a drawer upstairs in my bathroom. So whether I am doing a full face of makeup or I'm doing just a quick makeup, I'm always using the Road Glazing Milk. It just gives my skin a nice glow, and whatever I put over top of it, it really melts it into my skin. I'm gonna point out that I had a little bit of filler put in my lips. My upper lip is still really swollen. It's not as sore as it was, but it's still kind of sore. I had it done 2 days ago, so my lips are a little too plump right now. I'm very well aware. I'm still waiting for that swelling to go down, but I'm a huge fan of Botox, in this area, and a little bit of filler in the lip. For me, I don't know that I'll ever put filler in my face. I haven't ever done that. I guess if I need to, maybe one day I will. But for now, Botox in this area, around the crow's feet and the forehead, and then a little bit of filler in the lip, just kind of gives that youthful edge. And I'm all about it. Now, but before we jump into the products, I did want to talk briefly. You guys always have the best recommendations and the best advice. So to all of you out there who have had a CO2 laser done, let me know in the comments your experience and if you feel like it was worth it. The reason I ask is my med spa are doing a major discount on the CO2 laser for the month of December. So typically in our area, at least, my dermatologist, my med spa, my husband's dermatologist, all three of those places, the price is $2,000 for the CO2 laser. And right now at my med spa, I can get it for $1,200. So I've been really thinking about doing it for this reason right here. You know, for those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that I struggled with acne for several years, and I have a lot of that acne scarring. And everything I've done a lot over the years with my skin. And I will say the LED light from Amiro that I talked about in my last video, that has helped so much. LED lights are truly incredible. And I stand by what I said in that video, even though it was a sponsorship. That LED light is the best LED light I have, period. It provides everything. I haven't bought it yet. So at my med spa, I can buy it and then I can use it throughout the year. So it'll expire next December, which I already thought about it. If I'm going to do it, I will probably do it mid-January, maybe towards the end of January. It's in the middle of the winter. I'm not going to go out anywhere. And then that gives me time to really heal before I'm kind of out in the sun again. So anyway, for those of you who have had the CO2 laser, or you know of somebody that's had a CO2, or you know of someone who has had the CO2 laser, let us know in the comments your experience and what you've heard. I'm really curious because I haven't done it yet, but I'm really wanting to do it. I know it's pretty crazy, but all that I've seen, the results and stuff, it's really incredible. So I don't know. Let us know in the comments. There are 3 foundations that I have pretty much used all year. And I've tried several of them, but these 3 are the ones that I continue to use all the time. The one that I love that just gives me light coverage, but it kind of evens out the complexion, evens out the redness, is the Skin Better. It's up in my bathroom. I'll put a picture of it right up here on the screen. It is fantastic. I do hope that one day they come out with different shades, because I would prefer it a little bit darker, but I add the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops. I'll put the Skin Better in my hand, and it has SPF and all that. I'll put it in my hand, and then I will put some of the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops down in there and kind of mix it, and that will kind of give it some color. So that's what I'll use. I've also been using the MPH palette. So during the Sephora sale, I bought a backup. And so I have my old one up in my bathroom that I can just pop on and add some coverage and stuff super fast and easy. And then I keep this one down here in my beauty room. I haven't really worn concealer since I bought this. And I'm not really interested in concealer, to be honest with you. Only worn concealer a few times since I bought the MPH palette, and I don't like the way it looks under my under eyes. Yes, it provides more coverage than the Mary Phillips palette, the Underpainting palette, but it's not as natural. And I kind of prefer the more natural versus the fuller coverage. In conjunction with the MPH palette, which I just took it out of the box, so I haven't used this one yet. This is brand spanking new, which I am very happy about. I have been using the Armani Skin Tint in shade L3. I also have it in L4. I also have it in medium 3, and that one is a great shade for me in the summertime, but the L3 is a great shade for me in the winter. I also love this OG complexion stick. I did a full video about this brand anyway, it's probably been 2 years now, and I still love this complexion stick. It's my second one. I love it, and I only have that much left of my second tube. It's fantastic. It glides onto the skin. It really melts into the skin beautifully, lasts all day. It's natural. It's made with all organic ingredients. Doesn't break me out. My skin loves it, and I'm obsessed. The shade I wear in this one is Banyan 3.0 Warm. I'm going to use the OG, just so that I can show you how special this foundation stick is. I do have the Dior stick foundation. This one is beautiful as well, but I don't feel like it's as natural as the OG. The OG just really melts into the skin. The Dior probably has better coverage, but to me, it's not as natural as the OG. So I always reach for the OG over the Dior. However, if I didn't have the OG and I wanted a stick foundation, I would be wearing the Dior. It's beautiful. I like to add, by putting on the Rhode Glazing Milk, this really helps this stick foundation melt into the skin even more. It's such a beautiful foundation. And unlike some of my other foundations, this one is forgiving. If you get a little too heavy-handed, you can kind of push it into the skin with a sponge, and it's a little more forgiving. It doesn't weigh crazy heavy in wrinkles and pores and stuff like that. But right away, it's stunning. It's such a beautiful foundation. And I like to just stipple it with a dry brush and just kind of stipple it into the skin and spread it out and move the product. That glazing milk underneath it helps it to blend into the skin better. If you don't have the glazing milk, I would just recommend maybe a really light moisturizer. If you have dry skin, the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream is really nice. A little bit goes a long way, but I have noticed that anytime I have used that on those really dry days, my makeup really melts into my skin. But if you don't want it to be too heavy, any light moisturizer, any kind of water cream, anything like that you can apply first, and it just gives the foundation movement, and it allows to really spread it out evenly. Then I like to take my times 10 mirror, or times 8, whichever one it is, and just kind of go and inspect those areas. So I like to zoom in real close and see if my foundation is patchy in any areas, if I need a little bit more, right, in those certain areas, or if it's a little too heavy in certain areas. Like using a 10 times mirror has changed my life when it comes to applying makeup. You can really see what you're doing, and you can really see where your problems are. Before you continue on with the rest of your makeup, you can really kind of dial it in, and you're really inspecting your skin as you're applying your foundation. You'll have the best results throughout the day. Let's go into the MPH palette. I'm going to use this for my eyelids because you can see all the redness on my eyelids. Now, some people don't have the redness that I do, and some people can go straight over their eyelids with eyeshadow with no problem. I need something to even that out before I go in with eyeshadow. So I'm going to grab this first color, which is a color corrector. So this kind of has a little bit of like a peachy tone, and it helps to kind of cancel out some of the redness. It cancels out some of that purple darkness that you have under your eyes. Then next, I'm gonna grab this lighter shade. Oh, I love this new palette. It's fabulous. Like I said, the other palette that I bought a few months ago, I put up in my bathroom. I will say I do love the brush that the brand launched with this palette. It's the dual-ended brush. I don't know what it's called. You don't need it to make this palette work because, you know, like I said, I have the other one in my bathroom, and I just use, you know, regular brushes that are not this brush. But I will say I do love this brush. In fact, I love this so much that I bought it for my daughter and my son's girlfriend for Christmas. They're both gonna love it. Look at the difference right away. That just really opened this eye. Like this eye still kind of looks sad. Right away, it makes the biggest difference. I'm gonna use this same shade to go right over top of that color corrector. And I like to just kind of tap this in. You really don't need very much. And then sometimes I like to grab this shade right here and go right here in the center of the face. Okay, then I'm just gonna take the brush and blend it in. It's flawless every single time. It's not thick, cakey, heavy. It doesn't clump up in those wrinkles. It doesn't exaggerate like dry patches, nothing. It's seriously flawless every single time I apply it. I never have to worry about it. It's beautiful. Okay, we're gonna move on to brows. And even though I will say I do like the Rare Beauty, it's not bad. I do like it. I still just prefer the one from Benefit. This is the 24-hour brow setter. And I use the longer. See there on the top, the bristles are shorter and then the bristles are longer on the bottom. So I like to use the longer bristles to kind of comb it through my brows and really work the product into my brows. And then I take the shorter end, and that's where I kind of comb them into place where I want them. But I need a mirror that's closer. I'm still growing my brows out. It's the regret of the 90s where we literally plucked and plucked and plucked and plucked until we had just a few hairs. 25 years later, the 90s is still haunting me. I am gonna set my eyelids with some finishing powder. And again, you can use any finishing powder that you have. I like to set it with powder so that when I go over top of it with eyeshadow, it's a smooth canvas and it's easier to apply powder eyeshadow over powder than it is something that's creamy. If you don't have the MPH palette like this, something that's really creamy, you can totally use your own concealer, but I would just recommend using a concealer that's fuller coverage so that you don't have to use as much. Because the more that you cake on, the harder and cakier and thick and clumpy it's going to be throughout the day because your eyelids are constantly moving, right? You're constantly blinking. And so it's better to do it with a fuller coverage concealer and you're only using the tiniest amount versus a light coverage concealer and you have to use a lot to really cover the redness. Now I'm just gonna take the Patrick Ta pencil and just kind of fill in these brows. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the bronzer. So I could totally use these two shades. They're both really beautiful. This one is a little more for contouring and shading, like really cutting those cheekbones, which I kind of need. As I've gotten older, I've kind of lost that structure. I've always had high cheekbones, and as I've gotten older and gained a little weight, I have kind of lost that ridge right there that I miss. I used to have this like really like chiseled cheekbone, and I don't have it much. I'm working on it. I am using my Miro device to really carve out those cheeks. I'm working on it. But in the meantime, it's always a good way to cheat your way through it by using products like these. Now, they come in all different forms, shapes, and sizes. Okay, that's the beauty about makeup. There is enough of everything that you're looking for. If you're wanting something more natural, kind of gives you a little bit of color, but it's not too strong, these two right here are your best friend. This is from Makeup by Mario. This is the Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum. This stuff is absolutely beautiful, but very natural. It looks like you've been fresh out into the sun, but it doesn't add a lot of color, okay? So it gives you that bronzy look without being too much color. Okay, same goes for the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick. This is very natural as well. If you're wanting something a little bit more bold, like you want pigment, I recommend these two. So the Natasha Denona, this is a High Sculpt Liquid Bronzer. This stuff is absolutely beautiful and blends like a dream. It's liquid. A little goes a long way, but it gives you instant color and it lasts all day. Now, the LYS, this is the No Limits bronzing stick. This is kind of the same thing. Now, you'll see people on social media go straight on their face with this. My suggestion, I wouldn't recommend doing that. This is a very pigmented product, and it can take hold and pull, and you can lose control of it very quickly because of how pigmented it is. So I wouldn't recommend going straight on the face with this. You can literally just grab it with a brush, okay? Grab it with a brush, apply it, grab it as you need it. So that's like a nice liquid or cream option. If you're wanting a more natural look, I don't feel like you need a cream and powder on top of each other. If you're wanting a really beautiful kind of bold bronzed look, then yes, I would recommend double layering it. For me, I'm kind of in between. I like to look like I have bronzer on, but I don't want my whole forehead looking really dark. So today I'm gonna use the Soft Sculpt from Makeup by Mario. This is in the shade medium. It's a absolutely beautiful product. I actually kind of prefer the medium dark, but I gave that to my daughter, so we're rolling with it. I do like this dual-ended brush from Makeup by Mario because I like to apply with the smaller end and I like to blend with the larger end. It really has a dual purpose. So I'm just gonna blend this into the skin. So you can see that that's natural. It gave me something, but it's very, very natural on the skin. Now with this, you can go directly on the face because it's not super pigmented. This is designed to give you some bronze and some color without being too much. And then I'm gonna blend it in with the other end of the brush. If you're like me and sometimes you get bronzer kind of caught into your hair, take a spoolie and kind of blend it in to your hairline. It works. You can also add this on here, right, to kind of give you that carved jawline. And then I like to kind of bring it down a little bit. And that can give that structure to, and also some people bring like a contour color. So like this one from Westman Atelier, this is the shade Truffle. You could bring this like around like this and kind of blend that in, and it will kind of just sharpen up that cheek. Just kind of work it in. See how that kind of carved out that cheek without, I mean, I added just the tiniest amount and it kind of gave me some structure right there. Let's move on to my favorite thing to apply. Next to concealer. I love to apply concealer as well. Blush. Blush, in my opinion, is beautiful. And there's so many different ways that you can apply it. The more trendy way right now is to bring it up really high and even blend it in to like the eyeshadow, and it's really beautiful. You can put it right here on the apples of the cheeks. That, you know, that's the way we were taught all those years ago. You can put it however you want. Everybody's face is different. Everybody's face shape is different. And whatever you like and whatever you think looks best on your face, that's where you apply it. There's no right or wrong way to apply makeup. I personally like to bring it up here, and I also like to add it on the apples of my cheeks. I know that's not the trendy thing to do right now, but that's what I personally like to do. My favorite products of the year when it comes to blushes, which you guys won't be surprised because I've talked about them at least 20 times. In my experience, blush is one of the things that fades the fastest throughout the day. So regardless of whether I'm doing quick makeup, I love to apply cream blush because I think it's beautiful, but I also like to set it with a little bit of powder blush. I have multiple powder blushes and I have multiple cream blushes that I absolutely love. My top favorite liquid cream blush of the year was definitely this NARS Orgasm blush. This stuff is so beautiful. The way that it like really melts into the skin, I'm obsessed with it. It's gorgeous. The color is beautiful. And it's become like one of my like go-to favorite blushes. I like to put this on the back of my hand like this and then grab it with a brush. But I also really have been loving this cheek gelée from Chantecaille. It's the Delight. Love this as well. It's such a beautiful color. And it's kind of similar to the one from NARS. The Cheek Gelée formula is just really beautiful. Look how beautiful that shade is. So this one right here is the NARS. And they're similar, but the one from Chantecaille has a little bit more of a sheen to it, meaning that it adds a little teeny bit of shimmer, but it's not glittery. They're both really, really pretty blushes. I also love the stick blushes from Victoria Beckham Beauty. This one is in the shade Mini Skirt. It's gorgeous as well. It melts this stuff. I've been raving about these for years. That's one of my favorite formulas. I also love the shade Knickers. This one's like a peachy color and it's super pretty as well. So these two are from Victoria Beckham Beauty. Very easy to apply, very natural, gorgeous. And I, of course, love these from Patrick Ta. These you kind of get more for your money. You get a cream blush on top and you get a powder blush on the bottom. They're stunning and never let me down. I love this formula. Because I have used the NARS multiple times on camera, I'm going to use the one from Victoria Beckham Beauty and I'm going to use the shade Mini Skirt. And just apply some here. Now these aren't too pigmented, so you can go directly on the face. They're very forgiving. I'm gonna add a little bit here because again, I like to add it right on the apples of my cheek. You know, it is what it is. Like I said, there's never a wrong way to apply a blush, ever. Okay, now as far as powder blushes go, besides the Patrick Ta, I would say the Gucci formula is chef's kiss perfection. They are absolutely beautiful. I also like the Armani ones. These are beautiful as well. Very soft. They're not super matte, but they give you that beautiful color to the cheek. This is probably an OG favorite, like one of those that I will always have in my collection, the Charlotte Tilbury. This is in the shade Ecstasy. It's so beautiful on the face. This inside part right here, that inside circle, adds a gorgeous sheen to the blush application without being too much, like too much shimmery. It has like a pearlescent finish to it, and it's gorgeous. I think today I'm going to use the Gucci, and I'm going to use the shade, gosh, it's almost worn off. I'm going to use the shade Silky Rose, and I like to twirl my brush into it and then tap off. Let's move on to setting powder. So I'm going to go over my entire face with a little bit of setting powder, and I prefer the one from Hourglass. It lasts the longest. It's beautiful on like dry skin, and I love the packaging. That's the reason why it lasts forever, because every time I open it, powder doesn't go everywhere, which I love that about this. Some people hate the packaging, but I think you have to understand the packaging to appreciate it. So you tap on the back of it. Mine's almost gone, so I'm not really getting like the normal amount that she would get, but I did stock up during the sale. So typically how you do it is you turn it upside down and you just kind of tap on it 3 times. And when you open it up, you kind of have the perfect amount of powder to apply what you need. Now, because I'm almost out, I got to get a little bit tricky because I don't waste my powder. And then I like to put it down into the circle part, grab my brush, pick it up, and tap it. I don't like to move this brush around too much. I just like to tap it over top of the makeup that I have down. Now you can, if you have some harsh lines, maybe you've put on some powder bronzer and you have some harsh lines that you want to blend in, you can totally buff it like this and really buff that into the skin. But for me, I don't really have any harsh lines, so I'm just gonna tap it. I have mentioned this before, but I'm gonna talk about it again. This is the Westman Atelier Vital Pressed Skincare Powder, and I use the shade Cream. This is the only pressed powder that I can take one of these little powder puffs and go directly over my wrinkles and that under eye area without it being too dry. Because the one thing about your under eyes is they don't really get oily throughout the day. And so sometimes if you want your concealer to not move and shift around throughout the day, the best way to keep it in place is to put some setting powder over it. Westman Atelier is a fantastic brand, which was created by Gucci Westman. And she's a very well-known makeup artist. She's been doing makeup for years, and she knew what she was doing when she created this powder. It's fantastic. Setting powders. Now we have a few options here. I love the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Been using it for years, and it gives the skin just an overall beautiful, consistent mist. I also really like the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray from Charlotte Tilbury. It's beautiful as well. This sprayer is good. So I don't really have any experience with the sprayer kind of spitting out, it's a good sprayer. If you want your makeup waterproof, budge proof, and last all day, this one size is fantastic. I can't wear it all the time because it can dry my skin out. I am careful with how much I wear it, but I always have it on hand. So this is the one size On Till Dawn mattifying waterproof setting spray. Let's move on to eyes. My favorite palette of the year is definitely by far this palette from Makeup by Mario, the Master Mattes, the Neutrals. This palette pretty much provides me with every tone I need, and I like it because it's not too warm and it's not too cool. It's right in the middle, and I love that about this palette, and I've consistently used it since the day I got it. I'm gonna grab a tiny bit of mixing these two shades, these top 2 shades right here, just a little bit of both, and I'm just gonna apply that kind of on the inner corner. See how that brightened that eye? Just a little teeny bit of that brightens that inner corner right there. And to me, brightening the inner corner kind of gives a youthful look to the eye. If you want to add a little bit of definition and detail right around the lower lash line and the upper lash line, I recommend going in with some sort of pencil, okay? I like and prefer the Makeup Forever because they're easy to use, so you can really blend them out. You can apply it, blend it out, apply it, blend it out. It's a fantastic formula. I don't like this in the waterline because they're so easy to blend. They're not gonna stay in the waterline. You're gonna wanna wear a gel formula that's waterproof. Some that I like and prefer I don't have one right now. I probably do, but I'd have to dig in there. The Urban Decay 24-hour or 24/7. I'll put a picture up here. That one is a really good one for a waterline, and they have multiple shades. And same goes for these from Hung Bun Go. So this is a newer brand. You know, Hung Bun Go is a fantastic makeup artist and does the most beautiful makeup. But these, he has some that are similar to the artist pencils for Makeup Forever, where they glide and you can blend them out. But he also has the gel where you're going to use that for tight lining, right, in the waterline. So this is called Along the Lash Line. And this is a long wear eyeliner, and I have it in the black and the brown. Black sometimes can be a little harsh, but it depends on the makeup look. If I'm wanting maybe a smoky eye, I will use black. But if I am wanting just a really pretty kind of soft makeup look on the eye, then I like to use brown. So it's all preference. I'm gonna take the brown from Hung Bun Go and just go right along my waterline and kind of tight line. So I'm gonna take the Makeup Forever pencil in the shade Limitless Brown. I'm gonna go directly next to my lash line. Now for me, it's a little harder because I am wearing lashes. I'm wearing the Lashify lashes where, you know, they last for like, they're the cluster lashes. I wear them for like 8 to 10 days. And so sometimes it's a little harder to do this. But it does kind of help to kind of carve out your eye. For me personally, if I'm going to put on a wing, I don't typically do a lot of wing eyeliner, but if I want to add some structure and kind of lift that, I like to take the guide from my lower lash line. So I'm just kind of going like that. I use the lower lash as my guide. And I'm just going to kind of fill this in a little bit. And these Makeup Forever pencils are very, very easy to do that with. They're fantastic. I like to take a little small pencil brush and just kind of go over top. I'm going to take a small smudge brush and I'm going to go into the neutrals palette and I'm going to grab this shade right here. And then I'm going to use that to kind of go over top of the eyeliner so it doesn't move around. But just a little bit, because this is you know, pigmented, so I like to be kind of careful. Now I kind of have like a rough draft of some structure and shape to the eyes. Now I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm going to go into this shade right here and then also grab a tiny bit of the one below it. And I'm going to sweep this in my crease and kind of just creating a little bit of dimension there on that ridge of that bone. I like to apply a little bit, blend it out, apply a little bit, blend it out. I don't like to get too heavy-handed with powder eyeshadow. Then I'm going to dip my brush directly into the darker shade and apply a little here on the outer corner, kind of connecting to where I put that eyeliner at, but trying not to touch it. So I want to connect to it, but without disturbing it. You know what I mean? This is the point where you can just stop and leave it as an all matte look, which is might be what I do. If I do, I'm going to add one more step. Or you could take any shimmer shadow that you want. Doesn't matter what shimmer shadow, whether it's a liquid or a cream that you put on with your finger, or it's a shimmer shadow out of a palette. You can go directly on the lid and you're done. I'm going to keep this an all matte look. So I'm going to add these two colors here on the eyelid. I'm going to use a detailed brush. This one is the Smith 253. What I like about it is the angle of it. You can see how it's shaped where it has this little thing. And that little tip can really apply shimmer shadow. I have two of them. It's my favorite brush. I've been using it for years. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this and a little bit of this. I'm going to apply it right here on the center and kind of drag it all the way over. Now I'm going to put on a little bit of mascara. I don't wear upper mascara because I wear the cluster lashes. My favorite lower lash mascara is the Dream Pop from Charlotte Tilbury. This is kind of a maroon color. It's really soft on the eye. I also, on the lower lash line, like to use brown mascara. It will give you some of the definition. Like the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara, they have a really beautiful brown color. That one is beautiful on the lower lash line. If you want to soften the eye a little bit, I would recommend going with a brown or even this color from Charlotte Tilbury. And you could buy the travel size. They have a travel size of this one. I think they do. I'll put down here at the bottom of the screen if they do or not, but I prefer this color, and mine's a little dried out, which is the best mascara for the lower lashes, in my opinion. My favorite thing to do when I'm really wanting my lips to pop, I like to contour, and I love to use this shade to do it. This is the Makeup Forever Endless Cacao, which I need to sharpen this. This is truly such a beautiful contour shade for the lips. And I like to have a brush handy. This is the one I like to use. Doesn't matter. It's an old one. I don't even know what brand this is, to be honest. And I like to go right here. Blend it out. Add a little more. This is the first time I've done my lips since I had a little filler added. And I like to go like right on the ridge of the lip. These are so puffy and swollen. Oh, and then like right over the Cupid's bow. So that adds some definition, but without being like too much. I love this Endless Cacao. They also have it in a lip liner formula. It's a little harder to like smudge out. So I like to use the regular artist pencil to kind of really contour, and then like to go over it with their lip pencil, because this is more of like a extreme version. It's like a waterproof version, right? So it's just not as easy to kind of blend. So I'm going to apply a little bit and blend it out. It'll just help to hold what I've already done. Okay, then I'm going to take the shade Wherever Walnut and go kind of like above what I've already done. These lips are hard to do because they're lumpy. For the lipstick, it's a peachy beige. So this is the Laura Mercier Caviar Smoothing Matte Lipstick. This one is in the shade 820 Peach Cashmere. It's gorgeous. Okay, so we are done with the makeup, and other than the lumpy lips, I absolutely love the way that this all came together, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It kind of takes me back to the time like when I started just doing fun tutorials using the makeup that I love, and I loved this type of content. So I hope that you enjoyed it. And like I mentioned in the intro, everything I used in today's video, I will link down in the description box down below, along with pinning a comment to the comment section so that you can find it very easy there. And yeah, this is a super fun video. But again, let us know in the comments down below, any of you who have had a CO2 laser, or you know of someone, share your experience or their experience. I'm very, very curious. And also, what has been your favorite products for the year of 2025? I'm very curious. So definitely sound off down below and let us know. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.